Hey guys, and welcome to our very first episode of Ignorance vs. Arrogance. I am your low-key host, Caitlyn. Today we'll be talking to our next speakers who will be with you this entire journey. We're going to be introducing you to who we are, where we're from, our birth, our meanings of our names, and side note, just random facts about us and special interests of ours, along with our jobs and what we're doing right now. Next up, we're going to have our very own Tony Stark, our goatee man whose goatee ain't really there. We have Lesedi coming up. Lesedi, tell us stuff about your life, man.
Hello.
That was so random.
Like I love randomly saying that. Saying hello, it's like the funniest thing ever. But yeah, so
It's like you answering your phone. Like,
yes. But no, like you have to do like in the black accent, like it's the
Yeah.
funniest thing ever. Like especially in random situations, it's the funniest thing ever. So yeah, of course, my name is Lesedi. Yeah, that means light in my language, which is Tswana. So yeah, my heritage is crazy because my pops is like Tswana, but her dad is Venda and her mom's was Zulu. But we never grew up with her dad's side of the family, so I never picked up like Venda like at all. But my mom, she can speak it like fluently, like
that's
she's
actually so cool. I'm not going to lie to you.
like crazy. Like my mom speaks so many languages like fluently like a native. It's not even funny. And fun fact, actually the Venda side of my family, there's some like royal lineage stuff there. But of course
I'm sorry, Your Highness.
yeah, but
Yes.
but I don't benefit though because like
Yeah.
like from my mom's side, you know, and then like apparently like our family owns some farm that like what's that printing company? I don't know if it's Rota Trim or something. Like they stole land from our family, so there was like some big court case, and like we won. Apparently we won it like 2-3 years back, right? But like I haven't heard a single thing about that money, not even a thing. Ironically, I was actually born at the hospital that's like right next to Vets Junction, which is ironic because I ended up going there as like that was my res when
It's
I was
not
just,
ironic, it's your destiny.
yeah, because like I ended up going there for res, like that was my res. And my age is actually 23, so I'm the oldest here.
That's why he's Tony.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm the oldest here. And then my special interest is language learning. So I mean I have a lot of special interests of course, but I love learning languages literally just for the vibes. So right now I can speak French fluently, I can speak some Italian. I know all the grammar, I know a lot of the conjugations and all that stuff. But like I haven't had enough practice speaking Italian, so it's bad. Then I know some Spanish and some Portuguese. I started learning Portuguese I think like 3 weeks ago. So yeah, just giving people a little some Portuguese. Eu posso falar pouco do português. Começar aprendeu ele há 3 semanas.
Wow.
Ele há 3 semanas aprendeu português brasileiro porque português brasileiro é mais sexy, mais sexy. La palavra, la suta.
Okay, so let's stop flirting with the people on the camera.
Yeah, so basically, I was just saying I can speak some Portuguese. Started learning 3 weeks ago, and I'm learning specifically the Brazilian Portuguese because it is more sexy.
Yeah, that's his reason. He's Tony.
Yeah.
Now let's move on, right?
Yes, so my degree, I studied a Bachelor of Accounting Sciences, which I graduated from in, I think it was 2020, my undergrad. Graduated at 20, and yeah, I'm not doing anything, I'm not studying anything currently, but I run my own tech startup in the education space. So yeah, we'll have another episode on that because I've had a crazy journey on that. But before I started this, I started a couple other companies. Started my first one when I was like 19. Like, you know, so the one I'm working on is like my 4th registered business. And then I've also worked.
That deserves a whole episode on it.
Yeah, it's a long journey.
So let's say he's here to represent hustle culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hustle, guys.
And actually, we need an episode on that because there's so much I can say about that.
That'd be
because,
super cool.
And then I've also worked at EY and I also worked at a venture capital firm. So
fantastic.
On to the next.
Now, thank you so much, Tony Stark-ish. Now we're gonna have our favorite artist, the one who's the designer behind how we look.
Yes.
We now have Layla, otherwise known as Hawkeye and Frida. Tell us, Hawkeye, about why you are Hawkeye and your life, girl.
Hello, everybody. My name is Layla. I am 22, which only makes me marginally younger than Lesedi. Yes, I'm currently studying a BA Gen as well, so humanities at Wits. However, I did transfer over from digital arts. Incredible department, by the way. Love to everyone there. So yes, I was born in Joburg. I've been here my entire life. It's fine.
We'll talk about that later on.
Like
tourists up there.
Bro, any tourist that wants to come to Johannesburg, Layla says it's fun.
Yeah, that's my whole review of the city. So I'm currently not particularly employed, but I do some freelance drawing, some artistic things. My special interest is in sociology, the study of human interactions, the way society operates, which I think ties in very nicely to language, very, very interesting. Yeah. The special and random fact about me is I can take out my 2 front teeth.
Oh my god! Yo! Oh my god! Oh my god, that is so scary.
Don't use the Lord's name in vain.
Oh, sorry. Like, yo, guys, because I'm sitting right next to her. I did like, yo, the others are sitting like across. I'm sitting right next. Oh my gosh, like, yo, I did not know this. Like, oh my gosh. Yo.
Their faces are hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
So yes, these are my dentures.
Wait, why? What happened?
What happened is fascinating in that I fell from a 1-story building straight onto my face.
Yo!
And I knocked out my 2 front teeth. Also broke my jaw and a whole bunch of other things. But again, a story for another time.
As I said, she's Hawkeye. The one who you don't think has an interesting story and then comes out with a bum.
Like, yo, I did not, like, oh my gosh, like, I am traumatized. Like, yo, like, oh my
Tony's
gosh.
driving you like to breathe.
Yo.
To breathe.
Yo. First, I think, thank God that that's the only worst thing. Like, your nose is still okay.
Yeah. Like,
What if your face became horribly disfigured?
Imagine she became cyborg and literally just attached her nose.
Bruh.
Like, I can smell everything.
Like, cyborg, like Michael Jackson, bro.
Yes, so the very first thing, it's probably not the first thing she said, but the very first thing I remember my mom saying to me when she found me in hospital was, "At least your nose is fine."
That's good, that's good.
Because it could have been way worse.
Yes,
that's
actually could have been much worse. I was very, very lucky. The meaning of Layla is very interesting because it's got multiple. In Arabic, where my family is Muslim, it means dark beauty or born at night. In Chinese, also the word translates to smile, which is ironic.
No way! No way!
Let me say something. The amount of times she smiles in a day can be counted on one hand.
Yeah, actually, that's so true. Yes, my distinctive feature is actually my resting bitch face.
Literally, and she does have one. You know what's the crazy thing? The first time we met, like she had a resting bitch face to a point where I thought she hated Caitlyn. I was like, does she hate Caitlyn? I was like, yo. You know, because like she literally says stuff like, you know when you're giving feedback, right? But you have a resting bitch face. It's like, yo, dog, is there beef here or something? Only time that they do.
Acronyms. There are children who are watching.
Sorry, SB, RBF, sorry. RBF.
That was tricky for me as well. I was like, how do I abbreviate this?
Yes.
RBF, guys.
But yes, no, I am very fond of Caitlyn. These two I barely know anything about, which will be fascinating to hear about on air.
But before we talk about how we met each other, let's get on to the hosts.
Hello,
Caitlyn
guys.
herself, also known as Sister Lock, because she's literally got sister locks, and because she's literally the same age as my baby sister. Like, what are the odds?
Literally, and I'm low-key. Like, if you notice a trend, don't worry about it. We're low-key nerds. Deal with it. My name is Caitlyn, first of all. It's Caitlyn. Just for people to know that's how you spell my name.
Don't disrespect the name.
Don't disrespect the name. So my name means, actually, it means pure. which makes a lot of sense if you know me.
If you genuinely know Caitlyn, she genuinely is too pure for this world. Like, she is so pure. Like you meet her and you're like, oh my gosh. Like I just want to like hold her and cuddle her and be like, world, stay away from this one. Please don't corrupt this one.
So it originally comes from Catherine. And it's like an Irish name, but it also has like some British things. So I'm a colored individual. Complex history. I don't think we have the time to get into my ancestry. I'll tell you the highlights. The highlights are the European side of my family, because like there's only 2 that I know of. So that's like the highlight version is I have British and Irish blood in me. And then Khoisan, I guess it's like one of the bigger ones you would know on my side. And then a bunch of African nationalities. We'll get into that a whole different day. The way I was born here in Gauteng. I am a Gauteng baby. I am originally from Johannesburg South. I will never stop saying this. Joburg South was so much better than Joburg North. Joburg North is quiet and also just disconnected. Like in Joburg South, at least you get to talk to your neighbors. Like I knew my next door, like both next door neighbors, my front door neighbor, and the neighbors that were down the street. Like I knew everybody. And then
wait, where exactly in Joburg South?
So Joburg South, so you know Kibla Park.
My uncle lives there. It's such a dope neighborhood. What are your special interests?
Oh my god. So my special interest is a bunch of stuff. So I really love music. I love art. I love books. It is like a big thing of me.
Yeah.
Especially history. Like and the thing is, I like history when it has like interesting elements in it, right? So like as much as I love like the Cold War and stuff like that, my biggest thing is like the Tudor family, especially because of Henry VI. The Six musical.
Oh, what a banger!
Damn.
I will censor that. What a banger!
The Six musical is literally the best musical. So I love musicals. I love Greek and Roman mythology. So
have you listened to Hades Town?
no, I have to.
You must.
I have to. Have you listened to the Percy Jackson musical?
No.
You have to. I love it. So a big thing of mine is like if I really love the books, I often sometimes try to find musicals of them. I'm an avid book is better than movie.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. Like,
and I will physically fight you if you tell me there's a movie that is better. Like the only thing I will concede now is the show Percy Jackson. What I've seen is low key good. I'm not just that with like fictional books and stuff. Like even like with coursework. So Shakespeare, when we did Macbeth, they made us watch the movie Macbeth. I sat there with the play in my hand and was like, they never said this. They never said that. What is this nonsense? I literally the teacher asked us for our reviews, and I said, low-key, ma'am, Shakespeare is rolling in his grave right now. Because I was disgusted.
The only thing that made the movie better or funnier was the scene where the guy quickly. It was like the funniest thing ever. Like it was so funny. Like everyone in class was dying of laughter.
Oh, by the way, in this institution of Wits, I am a BA General student. I will be doing BA Law next year.
Wait, before we go on, the reason why is because the admin people messed up her application.
Look, here's my thing. It gave me a benefit. Because now I'm going to graduate with an IR major and linguistics. And then I'm going to go on with law and then still continue with a medical law degree. So please, I will rock out with higher.
Pure ambition.
It's a random fact about you.
Well, I already said my special interest. A random fact about me. Oh, this is the weirdest. This is one of the weirdest, randomest facts that is hilarious. I was born green.
Oh, were you sick?
No way.
No, I was born green, guys.
No way. Actually, wait, your skin complexion was green.
So, I'm a late baby, like extremely late. My mom, my poor mother, I love you so much. I love you, mom. She carried me for 10 months in a week.
No way.
So, I did my very first number 1.
Oh my goodness.
And number 2 in my
That
mother's
is
womb.
so dangerous.
What?
Yeah.
So I almost died at birth, low-key. And so I was covered in green and stuff when I was born. And so I was born green, and they had to do a surgery because my mom wanted a natural birth. I did not give her that opportunity.
Damn.
And so they were like, she's gonna die. Let's just take her out. The random fact about me is I enjoy boxing a lot, and I have a high pain tolerance for it. So when I came here the first time to do boxing here at Fitz, love it. I do lots of training and stuff, but like I low-key train and then I get bored and then I get tired and I get lazy and then I train again. But I always feel better when I train and I actually get out like energy. And so many people see me as adorable, And then people, when they see me do boxing, are like, you're aggressive and you're scary. The coach with a 4-kilogram ball hit me at like 80% of his power, and I just stood there like, that's not sore, I need the bathroom.
So what jobs do you do? Are you making the paper?
So I actually do adjudicating. So I get paid for doing adjudicating and debating.
What's adjudicating?
So that's judging.
Ooh.
Yo, no
Yeah.
way! You judge debates?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which debates?
Oh my god.
I started judging, so I'm busy still with the Saki, so the Saki juniors, and I'm going to be doing some of the senior ones later on.
Oh, what's Saki?
Saki is, so it's South African school debating.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I did my debating training 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, like my debating adjudicating training, and it actually helped me become a better speaker.
Damn.
And so that's why I also went to, so now I can make money out of it. And I'm being paid by my old school for it.
Hey!
So,
Can't get that paper.
I love children. My mom loves children, and so I was just, and I was a Sunday school teacher. And then I was a Sunday school teacher. I'm thinking of going back to that, and then I have my own mini business of dog sitting and babysitting that I created. So
I think the next segue now is how did we meet each other? I think people would like to
So
know that.
from me,
Yes. Caitlyn
I have the
is
common
top.
connection.
Yeah, she's the
Yes.
common.
Like, you know how Gwen in the Spider-Verse has a bunch of Spider-Mans because of that whole thing? That is me.
Yes, she literally linked up everyone from the Spider-Verse, random strangers.
So
right?
legit. I met Layla. Yeah, so let's start from the beginning. I met Layla first of the group. No, I met Lesedi first of the group. So what happened was I met Lesedi. I beefed with Lesedi the first time we met.
Yes.
It was hilarious because he came out of nowhere and then he was like, I can beat you guys up. It's like a later thing. It
Yeah.
came out somehow in the conversation.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you wanna fight? And I was in a happy mood. He came up, squared up, and he was like, you wanna go, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, let's go. Because like, guys, I'm sweet, I'm adorable, but if you pick a fight with me, I just
Yes.
have the energy of removing fight. Like, especially with
Yes.
boxing. Like, I scared people at boxing. I meant,
We squared up. And
he
then
did
we were
some
gonna
weird cat girl fighting
fight.
technique.
It's like subverting expectation because we squared up, right? So we're squaring up, and then it's like it looks like we're about to fight, right? So I like doing that. Like, so we're squaring up like we're about to fight, and then when the fight started in inverted commas, I did like that thing like where you just flailing your arms.
You know
like,
the thing where they call it a girl cat fight? I legit sat there confused, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy. And so, like, yeah. Long story short, I beefed him up. I ended up low-key winning at the second part. So, yeah. Then I met Layla in linguistics. We literally met because we were both upset with the professor because he said that animals can't communicate. And we were legit like, sir, whales.
Bro!
To be perfectly fair, he said animals don't use language, which is just the technical definition of linguistics, but we were on the whale language thing. That is proof, my guy.
We were
Yeah.
straight up like, we will bring you the papers.
Right.
Like, so I'm a person who says you put your favorite emoji in your phone, in my phone when I save you, and she legit put a whale because she's like, yeah, that's what we bonded on, whales.
And the emoji she put for me was like the crying face emoji. Because like I'm laughing all the time. Like if you see me on social media, I'm in almost every single comment section, and almost all the time my comment is literally me saying something funny or laughing at whatever the person posted with a crying emoji. Like ultimately, when I like randomly actually. I was coming to it, so listen guys, I get cheap parking here, basically free parking and free office space. It's the perfect place to run my business, and my business is focused on students, so I can just leave and go and ask the students and get feedback directly, right? So I was coming from, I think, Rosebank, right? And I was like, hey, let me have some lunch at Vets. Also, because the lunch is free and it's not free. It's cheaper here than it is at Rosebank, right? I was like, hey, yo, Caitlyn, where the homies at? Let me come and eat lunch with you guys. And then she's like, the squad isn't chilling today. The boys are doing whatever weird stuff they're doing. But my other friends are starting a podcast, actually.
Well,
and I was
we
like,
are starting a podcast.
and yes, this literally, so this is the origin, man. And I'm like, hey, yo, I don't mind pulling through, and then I pulled through, and then we had like an introductory chat. And then that introductory chat was actually kind of crazy because it links with Layla, because now we were just trying to find out who each other was. So I bump into these random people. So like me, to be honest, I just wanted to chill and eat lunch with these people, right? And then Caitlyn is just there. It's almost like she was selling drugs. She's like, yo, me and the homies, we're about to change the world. We're about to do something crazy. yo, we're doing something crazy here. Yes. So I'm just like, man, Caitlyn's going crazy, man. I just want to eat lunch, and I don't want to eat lunch alone today. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see what's popping. And then I get there, and they're talking about a podcast. And then I'm hearing they saying fire stuff, and the chemistry was just off the chain, right? And then we started talking about schools. That's gonna be a whole episode on its own. And then, you know, Caitlyn was talking about like Kiro and talking about the different schools she's been to. And then Layla randomly mentioned that she went to a diverse school. And in my head, I'm like, I went to a diverse school too, you know? And I'm like, wait, which school did you go to? And she says, Greenside. And I'm like, what? No way.
And then he asks me the funniest question possible.
This is me. I'm like, wait, are you related to Layla Mayet?
And I just went, I am Layla Mayet.
Dude, I lost my mind. It is crazy. And the reason why, right, is because I've been going back to Greenside for, you know, like my startup, right? And a lot of the times when I go there, it's been like a flash in the past. I'm getting to see all the old people. I'm starting to remember names that I'd forgotten, seeing faces that I'd forgotten. And every time I go there, people would ask me, they're like, Layla Mayet. They'd always mention her, right? And I'm like, the name sounds familiar, but I'm like, I'm not getting the face. Like, I remember a Layla Mayet, but I don't remember the face, you know?
Damn wild to me, dude. I thought they would have tried to suppress my memory.
Literally, like, I was like, what? You know? So, we paused the conversation that moment so that everything from after that could be fresh. So this is basically us. It's going to be like almost like a young catch-up session of us understanding each other's experience at Greenside.
You don't understand how I had to fight them to shut up.
Yo, Caitlyn had to. She had to, you know, because this was unexpected. I literally just came here expecting to have a lunch break, not to bump into the very Layla Mayet that everyone is asking me if I knew, which is just crazy.
Why
Crazy.
did I ask you if you know her?
And she's gonna say why.
Well, I'm sure there are a few reasons, but I'll start with the good ones. My mom formerly sat on the school governing body, so she was technically the boss of certain teachers. Also, quite recently, the treasurer of her governing body passed away. It was quite sad. So yeah, she's very fresh in the school's memory because she took them out of a very dark place in Greenside history when it was very gang related, lots of drugs, lots of girls that would just skip out on school, pregnancies, lots of things like that. My mom, together with the former principal, really rehabilitated Greenside's image.
And just a super quick sidebar, they are now officially the #1 ranked school in the Johannesburg district. So she's killed it. She's killed it. And sidebar, my primary school is the second highest school.
Sidebar,
So,
Tony Stark needs to stop sidebarring.
What primary school is yours?
So I went to Macaulay House Primary School.
Oh,
which is basically a co-ed school for primary and then all girls for high school.
No, I've seen it before. Did you get taught by Mr.
Yes, I know it. Oh my god. The stories.
Side note, both Loki and I are just like looking at the two of them like they're crazy.
Yeah, so feel normal right there.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, which year did I matriculated 2017? Which year did you matriculate?
Wow, that's so old.
20, so that's just whoa.
Primary by then.
Yeah, now they're making us feel
be
old.
babies.
Like, you know.
What?
Wait.
2017?
So 2019,
Yeah.
that's when you were in matric.
Uh-huh.
That is crazy.
But can I
So
tell
it's
you
like-
the other wild thing? The grade 8s when I was in matric matriculated last year. The elderliness in my bones.
It's crazy.
We're gonna start
You
calling
won't
them
believe
grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
Because guys, sidebar, like yesterday actually, I was invited to Greenside to basically give the students, the grade 9s and 10s, a speech
And what
about,
did you say?
like, yeah, I mean, it's a whole thing. But when I mentioned that I started in 2013, that I matriculated in 2017, the entire audience,
What's that?
what audible gasp. You know when you're watching a movie and then you see a square bracket and then it says audible gasp. Yo, that was literally it from the whole crowd. You know?
The other wild ass thing, you said you started in 2013. My brother would have been your matrix.
Wait, who's your brother? what's this?
Senior leader.
Yes, he was. Oh my gosh. Yo, that is crazy.
Can I low-key tell you
So-
what it feels like on our side? It feels like we came to introduce ourselves and now we're on a green side.
Like,
It's
this
crazy.
is the green side
It's
episode.
crazy. And the crazy thing is, when I left, Mr. Strauss was the grade 9 head. And now he's principal.
When I arrived, he was a first year teacher.
Oh.
What an insane rise for that guy. Because
Yo,
I also
he-
know that
he
was
hustled.
his ambition.
Bruh.
From the
He was a
time I
hustler.
met him, he was like,
Yeah.
I want to be a principal.
I mean,
Serious.
that's nice.
And he achieved it in such a
So
short time,
short,
guys.
bro.
Because he got to Greenside after me. So that's after 2013.
That's 2015, okay?
So 2015, and he became, I don't know when he became a
I
principal.
think it was the year before last.
Snap. So that's 2021. No,
2022.
2022.
Yeah.
So man's spent running like 7 years principal. And the crazy thing, just also to give credit to Mr. Strauss, he came off as very strict. But when I went back, the school is so chilled now.
Yeah.
Everyone can have whatever hairstyles they want. Guys can have earrings. Like, people can have different colored dyed hair. Like, they have mental health days. They have so many fun initiatives. Like, Mr. Strauss literally transformed the school, and it's so unrecognizable now in a good way. I'm so jealous.
Side note, I'm gonna talk about this from somebody who went to like a school, like a conservative school, and then went to like a very big school that was open about hairstyles and stuff like that. I low-key, and I know people are not gonna like me for this, but I low-key appreciated it when we had like kind of strict regimes on what you could wear to school. Because I mean, yeah, being able to wear earrings and stuff, that's great, right? But the thing is, like, with the hair dyeing kind of rules, especially with the kind of school that I was at, like, you know, you couldn't dye your hair like wacky, like neon pink colors. You had to respect the kind of decorum. And let me tell you why. It's not because I think, oh, no fun. I think because it actually helps you develop your personality before you leave. Now, here's the thing. I learned, because here's the thing. There's a uniform. The only time we actually realistically don't have to wear uniforms is when we're outside of work or when we're during our studying period. The moment you get back into work, it's back to, yeah, you can wear whatever you want, but there's regulation in what you must wear.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know how to express
that discipline.
if you don't know how to express yourself in, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, like, go ahead, do it. And just, I guess, from where I grew up and how I did, I feel like I learned to express myself a lot more when I had that, because I learned that my clothing doesn't define my personality. My understanding from, let me see, from where I grew up, right? Yeah, you had to wear uniform and you had to have your hair in a certain way, right? But you could still do afros, you could still do locks, so you could still do braids, but they had to just be neat. And if you wanted to do a different color, hair color, it had to be a natural hair color.
Yeah.
But for example, my hair is my natural hair color. People think it's dyed. Right? And so like there's some people that will obviously have certain issues with certain things, but for me, what I appreciated was the fact that they still said express yourself. They didn't say, oh, you have to, like, the thing for us was, if you're representing the school, you have to be, you have to be respectful, but it doesn't mean be robots. It's like, you know what, be who you are, but do not be rude. Do not wear our uniform while you're posting a picture of yourself getting drunk on the weekend.
That's true. Because I feel like Caitlyn brought up something very important. Because I guess since I grew up in like a bit of an earlier generation, like maybe almost half a decade before the two younger members, is that so it's a combination of two things, right? So the first thing is that things used to be incredibly restrictive. The thing is, especially as a black guy, we were incredibly restricted actually, because it was a thing of like, especially boys' school was even worse. They had it worse. But essentially, we were so restricted, and it's not like we were doing wacky hairstyles, right? It was hairstyles that match our hair, like our cultures, right? Because the guys that were like maybe colored, white, or Indian, they could do certain hairstyles that for us,
depending on the
literally. No, and the thing is, so the hairstyles that we do, let's say it was dreads, right? Dreads is basically almost the same as pretty much almost every single white boy who has long hair, and then a brush cut on the side. It's literally the same thing, and we weren't allowed to do that initially. And the crazy thing is that I was one of the first people that were allowed to, and the reasoning why was because of Mr. Strauss, because they used to, like, if you had like your hair, like you had to have your hair combed as a black guy. If your hair was like, raggedy, and it was like, what my hair is now, you were not allowed to do that. Like line, like they take you in line and then comb your hair out. Literally, they combed my hair out to do that. And then things started becoming more laxed in terms of our actual hairstyles, you know. And just concluding on what Caitlyn said, the thing is, I understand what Caitlyn means in the sense that having green and all that stuff in high school, as much as it's nice to be free, but during school hours, I think it's very important that they teach that discipline to you, because when you get in corporate, you can't do those hairstyles. You know, university, I feel it, and university and holidays are a good free run because you're young, you can do whatever you want. But I feel like there's something valuable that schools teach you in the sense that you're wearing uniform and stuff, because a lot of people will end up working in corporate. A lot of people will end up working for companies where there's a dress code. So I feel like schools are teaching something very valuable in the sense that it's cool to be creative, have these funny hairstyles, doing all these cool things, but you have to also do it within reason, because when you're an employee and you're representing a company, it's basically like being at school again. You will be given slightly more freedom, but you still need to be presentable. So I understand where Caitlyn's coming from in that sense.
Back to the original question of the reason for this podcast, this episode in particular, is to get to know us and also to get the gist of what this podcast is going to be like. So conversations not only about, the serious things such as individualism through uniforms and stuff like that, but also fun stuff like green side memories and like the fact that what superhero would you want to be best. These are kind of the stuff that we as a team want to actually talk about, the stuff that we want to grow in. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, there's gonna be laughter, there's gonna be weird situations, we're all just sitting at each other like, did that really just happen? Yeah. And I think that's something that we all are gonna grow out more, and that's something that we would really like you, our fellow listeners or readers, for the people who won't be able to listen to it, will be able to actually understand, and something that we'd like to bring you on. So if you're on a journey and you're ready for something that's a little bit wacky, or something a little bit intellectual, or something that's just plain on funny, like we're going to be talking about things from racism to Trevor Noah to did Elon Musk actually ruin Twitter, a whole bunch of things.
Yes.
You don't need to listen to the podcast. Now they know everything now.
Yeah, we're talking about but here's the main thing is that this podcast, and this is something for you guys to really understand, this is a podcast not just for us, but it's a podcast for students, and it's a podcast for people who just genuinely want to listen. So whether you are looking towards being a university student, or you are a university student, or you were a university student, which is basically most of us on this planet or something like that, then listen in. And I think this will be a great time to actually learn and grow a little bit more from ignorance versus arrogance. And
maybe we should touch a little on the title.
The title.
The title.
So the reason why we got ignorance versus arrogance, we can make this a quick thing. And next time, in the next episode, when you start off, you'll start off with explaining it in better detail. But just to give you guys a little bit of a hint, nudge. If you look at ignorance means like you just do not know, right? This is when people don't have the information, they make assumptions or biases based on what they know. Arrogance, on the total opposite side, is knowing this information, but then acting like you know it better, or just disregarding it. So it's like when you're blatantly wrong, and you're proud of it in a way. You don't care about it. So what we want to do is we want to actually remove that. We don't want you to be ignorant, because if you're ignorant, you don't understand what happens that can harm you. And if you're arrogant, tone yourself down.
Yes.
Humble yourself.
Please.
Humble yourself.
Sit down. Be humble.
Sit down. Be humble. Anyway, but this is just for everybody as a general extent.
And also for the SEO nerds, it's because there's literally nothing else on the internet called ignorance versus arrogance. So we're always going to show up on top on the search thingies. So we're always going to be number one. There's no artist that's named this. There's no podcast that's named this. There's no TV show that's named this. So we won.
I just want to apologize if you just clipped the mic, but I think this is an incredible time to wind down, guys.
And this is a great time to wind down, to say goodbye. And just again, for you guys, just to get a quick reminder of who we are, I'm going to be your host. I'm Caitlyn. I'm also known as Sister Lock. We have Lesedi, Tony Stark, Roti Man. He is here with the real life attributions, the economic discussions, and the stuff that we actually need to see.
And business.
Yeah, business.
I did business.
Yes. And then we have Layla, our absolute G when it comes to our our graphics, who also helps with a bit of the research, and also gives us more on, here's the word, etymology? Did I say that right? Yes, etymology and sociology. And that's our team. And I hope you can't wait to join us on Ignorance versus Arrogance.
Yeah.